this is probably the last chance you're going to get to buy these big layer ones before we hit the banana zone. So this is now the start of the banana. This is the time when Bitcoin seasonally is extremely strong. So these summer months, June, July, August, then we get that kind of chop around that ahead of the election where people don't know what it means and who's going to be taxed and whatever. So people reduce risk a bit. And then after the election, whoever wins, the market continues the banana zone. Bitcoin starts outperforming ETH and Solana outperforms the others. That's a classic marker of altcoin season starting. So we did the Bitcoin halving zone. The boring zone is completing now. And next we go into the full banana zone. You can see the phases of the market. That's what we should be expecting to see.
Raoul begins by highlighting the current unique opportunity in the crypto market, referring to it as possibly the last chance to buy major assets at lower prices before they hit what he calls the banana zone. This term represents a phase of rapid market growth expected to continue well into the next year. He specifically points to Solana, describing its chart as a textbook example of a perfect wedge pattern. This pattern has undergone 3 tests of both the lower and upper trend lines, which Raoul notes as an indication of a high probability success scenario for continuation patterns, such as wedges or triangles. Raoul's confidence in these patterns stems from their historical performance. When the wedge pattern breaks the top, the asset typically accelerates in value. He stresses the importance of understanding the relationship between volatility and market trends. Low volatility often signals downtrending markets, while high volatility indicates uptrending markets. For Solana, reaching a 30-day historic volatility level of 50 has historically led to substantial reversals and significant gains. Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
This is probably the last chance you're going to get to buy these big layer ones before we hit the banana zone. So this is now the start of the banana. And it should continue all into next year and through at least early next year. The Solana chart is textbook perfect wedge pattern. I put this on social media. I've talked about it. It's absolutely perfect. So that was the final retest. We've had 3 tests of the lower trend line, 3 tests of the upper trend line. That is about, for me, these patterns have the highest probability of success of all patterns. Continuation, wedges, triangles, whatever you want to call them. I don't get bogged down the exact methodology, pennants. I just say everything looks like a wedge is a wedge. For me, that's a wedge. When it breaks the top, it accelerates. But now from the bottom part, this gets really interesting. Now, what is also interesting is at Global Macro Investor, we look at the volatility of assets and see when they get to very low vol assets, often they reverse and go to higher volatility. In crypto, generally, low volatility is downtrending markets and high volatility is uptrending markets. So every time that Solana has got down to this 50 level in 30-day historic volatility, it's tended to reverse. This is exactly what happened yesterday. And the last 5 times it's done this, from this level, it did 109% in December in 2 months, 32% in 2 months in June, August 57% in 2 months, September 527% in 3 months, February 78% in 3 months. So it's a very powerful signal that I really, really like. Now, the same signal was actually seen on Bitcoin. The good thing about Bitcoin is we've got a longer price history. So every time we've got somewhere close to the 20% volatility, Bitcoin more mature, less volatile, has bounced massively. And again, if you look at the numbers, these bounces have led 83%, 85%, 200%, 100%, 85%, 71%. These are bloody good signals. Now, nothing is fallible, or nothing is infallible, but it puts probability on your side. The other thing that I look for is continued strength from a leader versus others. And this is crucial that you understand this is Solana versus Bitcoin. It has stair-stepped higher and higher and higher. You can see when I bought Solana, when it broke out versus Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'll show you in a sec, back in September, October last year, and then it stair-steps higher. So we're about to explode through the next level. So owning Solana should outperform owning Bitcoin. And here's the same chart versus ETH. Very similar kind of pattern. We expect once we get that kind of 0.055 level in Sol ETH, even with the ETH ETF, we should see Solana outperform. Now, we also had the news today that Van Eck have filed for a Solana ETF. That doesn't mean it's going to get approved. Some of these people have filed for years in advance. They just want to get in, get some feedback from the SEC. But we know people are going to want to go for a Solana NFT. ETH first. By the time you're watching this, within a week, we should have an ETH ETF, which should start bringing new capital flows into crypto land, and it'll flow out the risk curve as always. So it goes into ETH, it'll spread into Solana, and then it'll spread down the risk curve, and things like WIF or whatever it is will outperform. That's not a trade rag, but just that's usually how it works. So I think we've got everything in place for Solana and Bitcoin, Solana to outperform ETH and Bitcoin. Also, we're about to see Ethereum break out against Bitcoin. This is an important thing. Something I've been talking about waiting for happen. It's a beautiful chart pattern. It should get to the top of the range, and then maybe it breaks out of the top of the range, and ETH gains further ground against Bitcoin and puts it a new all-time high. That has been my base case for several years now, and I think it's going to be proven out. But let's see. Right now, ETH is not my main bet. My ETH is actually all in Xcopy, Artem, Beeple NFTs. So my actual liquid tokens, Solana, because Solana is going to outperform both ETH and Bitcoin. Now, when Bitcoin starts outperforming ETH and Solana outperforms the others, that's a classic marker of altcoin season starting. Here is the prior altcoin season versus this one. It's been almost immaculate in its perfection. Now, don't expect this to play out perfectly, but look what lies ahead. The banana zone. The banana zone is when all sorts of crazy stuff starts happening. Now, it's suggesting here that we can see a 10x in the entire market cap of altcoins X Ethereum. Okay, that's a lot. That's a huge move. Some of these things are going to move massively. And again, remember the thesis, don't fuck this up. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to be buying all the stupid shit your friends are telling you about. Just be careful. Keep the majority in the majors. Keep 80, 90% in the majors. Keep 10% for capturing some stuff here. Most of it, you'll fail to make money on. Trust me, I've been there before. Anyway, altcoin season about to kick in.
He provides a cautionary note on market behavior, advising investors to maintain a long-term perspective and avoid getting swept up in short-term market fluctuations. Raoul emphasizes the importance of patience, reminding viewers that corrections and volatility are normal parts of market cycles. He warns against over-leveraging and making impulsive investment decisions based on short-term market movements. Raoul concludes by reiterating his belief in the immense potential of the crypto market. He envisions a scenario where the total market cap of cryptocurrencies could grow from $2.5 trillion to $100 trillion by 2032, marking one of the largest wealth accumulation periods in history. However, he stresses the importance of strategic investment and adherence to fundamental principles to avoid significant losses.
Presidential election years. It's hitting your X feed right now. You can see it's warming up. I'm filming this ahead of the presidential debate. This is the time when Bitcoin seasonally is extremely strong. So these summer months, June, July, August, then we get that kind of chop around that ahead of the election where people don't know what it means and who's going to be taxed and whatever. So people reduce risk a bit. And then after the election, whoever wins, the market continues the banana zone. That's generally the pattern. Again, don't expect it's perfection, but generally it's up and to the right from here onwards with a consolidation correction in the middle, and expect those corrections, that volatility, expect down 35%, down 25%. They're all normal. like on X in the last week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people are losing their minds because the market went sideways. Guys, patience. Have a long-term view. Okay, the banana zone. So we did the Bitcoin halving zone. The boring zone is completing now. And next we go into the full banana zone. You can see the phases of the market. That's what we should be expecting to see. And that's what I'm hoping to see. That's the 2016 Bitcoin halving cycle. It's the most similar to me right now. Again, don't expect the things to play out the same. But I think it more likely plays out more like the 16-17 cycle than it does the 2021 cycle. We'll just have to see. We'll have to look when we go. But the banana zone cometh. And that is your reward. These are the bananas. That curve on the chart, that's the reward you're going to get for holding on for your dear fucking life. Patience. Don't get over your ski tips. Don't use leverage. Don't FOMO into dumb shit. Keep the right assets in your portfolio. Don't go too far out the risk curve and just let it all play out. Patience is a virtue. Anyway, I just want to share that with you. Let me stop sharing my screen because I know everyone gets confused. Everyone gets nervous because look, the reality is the banana zone is funny. It's funny because it's shaped like the banana. It's phallic. It's just amusing. Markets go bananas. We all love it. We all act like ape. I get that. But I also understand fully it's everybody's hopes and dreams. So look, I take that very responsibly, and it's scary sticking my neck out this much. But I'm trying to help as many people as possible. I honestly think this space going from 2.5 trillion in crypto to 100 trillion by, let's say, 2032 is going to be the biggest, largest wealth accumulation in history. And I want everybody to come along for the ride. It won't be easy. You will fuck it up at some point. And so will I. But we'll do our best to make it there in one piece and to have made a ton of money, because it is the way to unfuck your future. I know there's a lot of swearing in these things, but these are effective means of communications. They're memes to communicate that this is really important, how to unfuck your future, and that you need to abide by a set of rules to not get thrown off. Don't fuck this up. Those two things should be immensely powerful for you in your journey.
Raoul Pal offers a detailed and optimistic view of the crypto market, backed by historical data and strategic analysis. His insights into volatility patterns, market cycles, and the potential for significant growth in assets like Solana and Ethereum provide valuable guidance for investors. As we move into what he terms the banana zone, Raoul's advice is to remain patient, avoid over-leveraging, and make informed decisions to maximize gains and minimize risks. Please like and subscribe my channel.